We have finally made it. Even after covering 3 separate Derby horses that ended up just defecting from the race altogether, we have finally done it. We have covered all 20 of the Kentucky Derby horses for this year. Well, except one. We have Summer Is Tommorow as our last Derby horse. One more day, one more Derby profile. Today's final Derby profile will be on Summer Is Tommorow. Let's go! First up, as always, we got stats, and Summer Is Tommorow is another very well-experienced horse. He has ran 7 times during his career with 2 firsts, 3 seconds, and total earnings of $267,606. The main way he got this money was thanks to his lone major race, and also his only career start that was a mile or longer, his second in the Grade 2 UAE Derby. For how he ran these races, it's plain and simple. At his best, he'll take off, go directly to the lead, and ask questions later. He is a dead-set frontrunner and will be the speed of the Kentucky Derby if all goes according to plan. And the only horse that really has displayed this kind of front-running speed is Classic Causeway. So I believe that if all goes well, both Classic Causeway and Summer Is Tommorow are going to be fighting for the early lead, while everybody else will just have to jostle for position behind them. And now with that covered and highest speed figure being not applicable because he's only raced in Dubai, it's time to go immediately into strengths and weaknesses. His main strength is going to be his front-running speed early. With only Classic Causeway to match his speed up front, he'll have a much easier time setting the pace than, say, other Kentucky Derbies of the past. So, while also having an advantageous running style, in the UAE Derby, he proved that he could maintain this sort of speed for Derby-like distances, as the UAE Derby is a mile and 3/16 or 100 meters shorter than a mile and a quarter, which is the Kentucky Derby distance. And with him holding on to be second in that race behind Crown Pride, it's safe to say that a mile and a quarter, while it's probably the upper echelon of what he's capable of running good at, it's still something that he's capable of doing. But while these are incredibly impressive strengths that honestly made me consider actually picking him as one of my Derby choices, there are quite a few major weaknesses, and one of them was a nail in the coffin for me not choosing him. That would be the sloppy racetrack. In the last couple of days, the Kentucky Derby has kind of come up overcast, with some pictures of it looking, well, very wet. And this might pose a very huge problem considering that he is only raced in Dubai, which in of itself is another major weakness, the fact that he has never raced in America before. But the other big thing about Dubai is that it almost never rains, so he has never experienced a sloppy track in his 7 career starts, or an American track, so 2 big firsts in one race, and that one race is the biggest race of his life, the Kentucky Derby. I could excuse not running in America before, but I don't know about the sloppy track. I think that's a bit too much to handle in one race. And with all of that covered, I really wanted to like Summer Is Tommorow. I had a soft spot for this guy after his second in the UAE Derby, but with the rain that's been coming down in the Kentucky Derby, I have to finally relent and just admit that he has a bit too much new on his plate going into the Kentucky Derby. And with that, despite a great unique running style, I can only give him a B- at most. And with that, we have covered every single Kentucky Derby horse for this year's Kentucky Derby. I hope you guys enjoyed this series as much as I did making it. It was a bit stressful at times and a lot of work, but you know what? It was worth it, as it was a great excuse for me to show off my passion for the sport. So, in the next coming days, or hours, depending on how driven I am, I will be uploading both a full Kentucky Derby field analysis, and at least one other video about the Kentucky Derby that is a lot more ambitious than just this. So, hope you guys stay tuned, and have a great Kentucky Derby.